The longest government shutdown in history may be over, but the president is still wants funding for the border wall. Congressman Dan Meuser, Republican from Pennsylvania, is with us now. Congressman, I think there's three possible outcomes here for this where we are now. One, reach a deal. Two, shut the government down again. Three, declare a national emergency. Senator Tom Coburn on the show this morning said he thinks it's going to be a national emergency declaration. Which one do you think it'll be?
Well, I think we're going to, one way or another, secure our borders. You know, the president has relented very temporarily here for the good of our country, not to score some cheap, short-term political points. He's been negotiating in good faith, and frankly, Stuart, so has the Republican leadership. Liz Cheney, Steve Scalise have all been working, Kevin McCarthy, our leader, to secure our border and open our government. But, you know, the people of my district, the 9th Congressional, are more than just frustrated. They realize here in Pennsylvania that we've got to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time in Congress. You know, I come from the business world, and this level of focused on results, this lack of results is more than just frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
And it's time that we get something done.
But, Congressman, politically, the president and the Republicans lost. You backed off and reopened the government.
Well, again, I think the president had to do what he had to do in the short term. His focus is on securing our border.
But will he lose again if we go through all of this all over again? Nancy Pelosi says, no, you're not getting a wall, and we shut down the government. Does he lose all over again?
No, he won't. He won't, because he has other options at his disposal. You know, Speaker Pelosi and Chuck Schumer took a victory lap here. And let's face it, what did they accomplish? Nothing. In fact, they've made the situation worse. I mean, we have a real border crisis. We have 400,000 illegals coming across that were apprehended, another 400,000 that weren't apprehended, 17,000 that were apprehended had criminal records, 90% of our heroin. In the 9th Congressional in Pennsylvania, as well as throughout the country, we have the worst drug epidemic in the history of our country. And yet the Democrat leadership continues to say that this was fabricated and they won't provide a border wall, when meanwhile, the border security, as well as DHS, the Homeland Security, tell us that's exactly what we need. Okay. So we got to stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense, and Republicans are together on this.
If the president declared a national emergency as the way to stop this nonsense on the border, would the full Republican Party back him, and would the people of America back him?
I believe so. I believe that we've now set up the next steps here. They did set up a conference with 17 conferees, some good people on there from the House, Tom Graves, Kay Granger. So they're going to do their best to come to a resolution. I don't know how hopeful I am, but it must get done. And yes, if come February 15th, we have not reached a resolution that includes a barrier, that includes some sort of wall, where the border security says we need it, then yes, the president has the absolute authority to declare a national emergency and provide the funding to build the necessary barrier.
Congressman,
and I would support it.
Okay. Congressman, clean cut, and we appreciate that. Thanks for joining us, sir.